Hi everyone, and welcome to the Fake Love and Flying Monkeys podcast. My name's Nova Gibson and I am your host. My area of expertise is in supporting victims and survivors of narcissistic abuse and other toxic relationships. I'm the principal counsellor at Brighter Outlook Narcissistic Abuse Counselling Service, and I'm also the author of Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. In this podcast, we're going to be talking about everything from the initial pink cloud you find yourself on at the start through to the horrific discard and the powerful trauma bond that keeps you hooked. So take your imaginary seat on the roller coaster that is narcissistic abuse, and don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an episode of Fake Love and Flying Monkeys. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fake Love and Flying Monkeys. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about triangulation. Now, what is triangulation? Some of you might have heard of it, but for those of you who haven't, triangulation is a very common strategy that narcissists use to commonly pit people against each other, to create drama, to spread rumors, and it enables them to stand back and watch the drama and chaos unfold around them. So when you hear the word triangulation, of course, you're going to think of the word triangle. A triangle has three sides. So this is what triangulation is all about. It's about bringing a third party into the relationship to make one party or both parties feel insecure, to set up a situation where the narcissist becomes the go-between person. Now, the two parties that the narcissist intends to pit against each other, to put a wedge between, often they won't even know about each other. An example might be when the narcissist, let's say it's an intimate partner, and they come home and they say to their primary source something along the lines of, oh my goodness, the colleague, the secretary at work just keeps giving me the eye. And you know what? She's really sending me these inappropriate messages. I just think they're a bit, too familiar. But, I don't want to get her on my bad side because I've got to work with her. So what do you think I should do? Now, of course, any normal partner would say, well, why don't you tell them that you have a partner? Why don't you tell them that you're married? Why don't you stand up for me? Now, if we were talking about someone who is emotionally healthy, someone with a normal emotional intelligence, this would be an automatic thing to do. They wouldn't even let it get that far because they would probably sense that there was an inappropriate attraction there, and they would cut it off before it went any further. But the narcissist thrives on the attention. Never forget that. And also don't forget the fact that the narcissist often just makes this stuff up simply because they want to make their loved one feel paranoid, insecure. They want them to react. So in this example, what has happened? The narcissist has brought a third party into the relationship, that colleague, that person at work, and they have created those insecurities in the person they supposedly love. Now, if the narcissist is simply making this up, as they often do, it's still triangulation because the two opposing parties can either be real or perceived. It's all about getting a reaction from the person they're trying to hurt and putting themselves at the top of that triangle so that they appear to be this wanted commodity and the opposing parties vying it out for their attention. It's very important to remember that triangulation tactics can involve two other parties that can actually be real or perceived. These people can be made up and often they don't even know about each other. So another classic example that narcissists use would be when they have discarded their primary source, which now becomes the old primary source. So the primary source, the first one, is now gone. And they have a new primary source, someone who's shiny and new, someone who has not yet been abused. So they think the narcissist is wonderful. And the narcissist tells them that they're a victim of you, the old primary source, who has now become the secondary source. And they want to use this situation to create drama and again to make themselves appear like this person that is desirable. So the narcissist tells the new primary source that they're a victim of you, and of course you haven't got any closure. You're frantic. You don't know what's going on. Perhaps you're watching them sail off into the sunset with this new soulmate appearing to never have been happier. And you react by possibly reaching out, contacting them, ringing them again and again, sending them all these messages. And the narcissist gets this sympathy from who has become their new primary source. So the old primary source has been essentially demoted to the bottom of the triangle, and the secondary source, who they would have been grooming when they were with you, when you were number one, they have now been promoted to the number one target or victim, because that's what they will be. They will go through exactly the same thing as you in the coming future. The narcissist will typically tell their new target that they're a victim and they're so lucky to have found someone as amazing as that new partner. And that new partner feels sorry for them. And they're also conditioned to hate you, the old target. And what does this do when the new target is trying to protect their new pot of gold? They think they've won the prize, and you, as the partner who's just been thrown away like yesterday's garbage, you are trying to get answers and some accountability, and you're contacting the narcissist just like the narcissist told their new target that you would do. So the narcissist is always at the top of the triangle. Now the narcissist will play out this game to them of triangulation for all it is worth. They have set this situation up like a chess player. Well, what happens to the new primary source? Well, exactly the same thing that happened to you. They will get boring. The love bombing period, which is unsustainable, will finish, and the narcissist will be after more drama. They can't stand the peace and the harmony that comes with a normal, healthy relationship. So when they start to devalue the new primary source, they will typically start to sing your praises. Now, in the beginning, they were telling their new target how horrible you are. You're pathetic, you're crazy, you're this, you're that. They're so lucky to be rid of you. And all of a sudden, they start comparing this new target to you. They tell the new target that you were a better cook, you were not such a nag, and you would never do the crazy things that they are now doing. And of course, how confusing is this for the new target? So what do? They try harder to please. Remember, just like you, the new primary source, they've lost their soulmate. This person who treated them like a god or a goddess has just done a shapeshift, and they want their soulmate back. So they try harder to please them. And of course, nothing works. The narcissist keeps shifting the goalposts. But it hurts even more when they're comparing them to you, a person they said was so pathetic. So if the new primary source is now feeling worthless and is being told that they're more pathetic than you, imagine what this does to their self-esteem. So it's such a win-win situation for the narcissist, and of course a lose-lose situation for anyone who is involved in them with an intimate connection or any sort of close connection, really. The narcissist destroys the self-worth, the self-esteem of the new target, and now they're looking back at you, and perhaps you're starting to look a bit shiny and new again. You're healing, and the narcissist is quite delighted in all the work that you're doing. So if they can get through, if you haven't blocked them, they will start to hoover you. You are now the secondary source, and they will come back perhaps telling you that they made a mistake and they never should have left you, and they will tell you everything that is wrong with this new person, and you fall back into the old cycle. Of course, I'm hoping that that doesn't happen to you as the victim, because I'm hoping that you will have the awareness now. You will know exactly what is going on, and you will not let them get one foot in the door. But many victims, without the strategies, they just don't know. And of course, a lot of the time they're still trauma bonded to their abuser. They do experience such relief that this person has come back to them. They've got their old soulmate back who made them feel so wonderful, and they fall right back into that trap. So the narcissist has now essentially switched the roles of the people on the triangle. The new primary source has been demoted again, and you, who is now the secondary source, has again been promoted. So this is what triangulation is all about. This is a classic example. The narcissist can switch those roles around as long as their victims allow it to happen. And when I say allow, I don't want that to sound like I'm victim blaming and that this is somehow due to a lack of intelligence or weakness, because we all know that this cycle of narcissistic abuse has nothing to do with weakness or a lack of intelligence, but rather the conditioning and the insidious lowering of your boundaries and your ability to trust your instincts. Now, triangulation can occur in any narcissistic relationship. Another classic example would be with that of the scapegoat child and the golden child. The sadistic, narcissistic parent will pit their own children against each other by praising one, giving one child all of the attention, the adulation, and using the other child as their dumping ground. And of course, the golden child does not want to lose their place as the favorite child, and the scapegoat child is forever trying to get just a taste of that love, in inverted commas, that they've been chasing their entire life. The narcissist will also use triangulation in a family when they create or manufacture some kind of argument or drama with their partner or spouse in front of the children. They love to do it in front of the children. Now, of course, their setup will have them being very covert. They will use very passive aggressive strategies to get their partner, the other parent, to the children, to react in hopefully a volatile way. So what do the children see? They see one parent who appears to be very calm and cool and collected, and they see the other parent going off. And that's what they see. That's what they absorb. So the narcissist uses this situation to their advantage by implying to the children that there's something wrong with the other parent. Maybe they'll get them out of the house to get them away from that crazy parent and, buy them ice cream or a toy to make up for the other parent's performance, and pit them against their own parent. How deflating is it to have your own children think there's something wrong with you, that you are crazy, just like the narcissist has been telling you for so long? How awful is it when your children walk on eggshells around you because their narcissistic parent has set them up, has conditioned them to do so? It's a terrible feeling to feel that disempowered as a parent. You lose any type of authority you have with your children because they're conditioned to not respect you. This particular scenario will continue even after you're discarded or you manage to escape and you're in your own home and you just want peace and harmony. You want to heal and you want to get your children into counseling, hopefully, and at least have one home where there's boundaries and the children are not walking on eggshells all the time. But the narcissist will continue to set you up. Typical strategies they use would be to tell the children something just before they go to your house that is going to be upsetting for them. Maybe the narcissistic parent will say to them, look, kids, I really wanted to take you on a holiday next month, but your mother or your father won't let you go. Well, they're not telling the children the truth, which is that in the court order, holidays were established and that you had plans for the holidays already. The narcissistic parent does not tell their children that. All they tell them is that they're missing out and it's your fault. Narcissists also triangulate by spreading rumors. It's kind of like planning a bomb that's going to go off sometime in the future and then walking away and watching it explode from a distance. So let's look at another situation. Perhaps it's a toxic narcissistic friend, a supposed friend, and they tell one of the other group members that is hanging out with you all they're all in the club. They tell them that you said something awful about them, and they stuck up for that person, and they really didn't understand why you were being so mean to this other person. Narcissistic parents become narcissistic grandparents. They're always a narcissist, and they will use triangulation to pit you against your own children. They'll take them away on a holiday. They'll take them to their home and spend all this quality time with them. They make the children love them, and then they'll drop hints to the children about how you're possibly trying to go no contact. You're trying to keep your distance because, of course, you know how toxic your own parent is. And this creates a wedge between you and your own child, who can't understand why you're not being nice to the grandparent that they love so much. That grandparent, the narcissistic grandparent, wants to bring you out of hiding. And of course, you don't want to deprive your children of a grandparent who actually loves them. Well, they really don't love anyone. They are manipulating their grandchildren just like they manipulated you your entire life. But it looks like love, right? The children acting like they feel loved. So it works. You break no contact for the children's sake. Spreading rumors is a classic way the narcissist triangulates. Perhaps it's a toxic friend that you have. They say something to one of the other group members about you. They tell them that you said something horrible about them, and this creates a wedge between you and that person. And most probably you said nothing at all, but it's lose-lose because the narcissist is so manipulative and they need the drama. Because if that friend comes to you and said, hey, why did you say this? And you, of course, go, I have no idea what you're talking about. And you approach the narcissist. These are real child games, aren't they? But you approach the narcissist and you say, why on earth did you tell them that? Well, what does the narcissist do? They deny it. I didn't say that. I have no idea why they are telling you such lies. And it goes on and on. And unless those other two parties get the strategies and have the awareness to see what is going on, it could go on forever with those two parties never speaking to each other again. But the narcissist becomes the go-to person for both parties. They will feign ignorance to both people, and both of those people think that the other one is lying. The narcissist has planted a bomb and they've walked away, and they have destroyed what could have been a very healthy relationship. Narcissists are continually bored. They are always on the lookout for a new source of drama, and triangulation is a wonderful source. It's about bringing a real, perceived, or something that isn't even a human being can be triangulated. You can be triangulated with an object, a car, even a pet. When they make this inanimate object or this pet seem more important to you. It's about getting your reactions by bringing something or someone else into the picture to get that daily dose of narcissistic supply. Now, getting back to perceived, the final example I'm going to give you is when the narcissist says things like, every one of your friends or your family agrees with me. The problem's with you. Of course, you've been conditioned to not trust your instincts, and you feel terribly betrayed by these people, and you feel isolated, you feel angry, frustrated. So the narcissist hopes that you will approach your loved ones. Of course, they will tell you they've got no idea what you're on about. It will support the narcissist's version of there being something wrong with you, and you will hopefully, in the narcissist's mind, lose those loved ones. They put a wedge between you and your support system by triangulating you with perceived enemies. These people don't know anything about what the narcissist is doing. And when they say all or everyone agrees with me, not only are they creating a wedge or trying to between you and those people, their other goal is also to isolate you, so you are easier to abuse and control and manipulate. And that brings us to the end of another Fake Love and Flying Monkeys episode. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. I'm sure you can think of so many other scenarios where the narcissist in your life used triangulation to pit you against your loved ones or something or someone, just to get that drama and to get you to react. Now, don't forget, if you'd like to have a one-on-one counseling session with me, no matter where you are in the world, please see my website link in the description. And of course, don't forget to get your copy of my best-selling book, Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. Now, if you'd like to support the channel, guys, please leave a rating and a review. That's the best thing you can do. Please share it. And if you'd like to do something else, please buy me a cup of coffee. There's a link there. On that note, it's bye from me for now. Until tomorrow's episode, please remember, you are worthy of love, and you are worthy of so much more than a lifetime of fake love and flying monkeys.